Hey guys, it's Christian. I am back now. Sorry for the bit of the delay, as we know, because of David Story's death, school, and other stuff as well. So it's good to doing these videos once again. I hope that you enjoy my recap after so long. Hopefully I don't feel too rusty about it. We'll get on to the first games on Saturday. We had two of them. And remember, they were an hour later because of time change over here. They'll revert back after the international break. We start off with Udinese Sassuolo, where the Nero Verdi picked up a big win in Udine. And this even puts more pressure on Udinese, who have lost like their last 5 games. After such a hot start with Odo, they can't seem to get a win anymore. Game finished 2-1, own goal from Ali Adnan. Very unlucky. Fofana with a wonder strike tied it up for the home side just before the half, and then Sensi managed to break one through. There was a case for VAR in this game, as before Fofana's goal, the build-up, there was a tackle by one of the Udinese players to win the ball, and then people complaining there was a foul behind it, but if you look closely, there is no foul. Got the ball first, he just got caught on the follow-through. But like I said before, a big 3 points for Sassuolo, who can pull themselves away from the relegation battle if they keep picking up important points like these against teams that are higher than them in the standings. Let's see how long their winning streak can last now. Second game on Saturday, which was a big surprise to everyone. No one really saw this coming, as it was a 0-0 game between Spal and Juventus. Everyone thought Juve would continue the run and, continue dominance in the Serie A to maintain another lead, another victorious season, But no, this halted their, I believe it was their 12-game winning streak in Serie A. Another shutout for them though, as they have only conceded 1 goal in 2018 in Serie A. So that is really good on their part. I'm like wow. Even it depends who, if it's Szczesny or Buffon, both of them have been able to pick up the work and make sure no one scores. But this is also an important point for Spal, as they get, I know it's not the full 3 points that they want, but it's a point nonetheless to move them out of relegation and help, pick up those vital points this late into the season. And let's see if this draw will eventually cost Juve the title race again, as they just recently got up ahead of Napoli. It's still lots of games to go, both teams having lots of games to play. Well, let's see what happens. Now, 7:30 a.m. game. This came as a shock to everyone. I don't think anyone saw this coming at all. Big whopping 5-0 for Inter. Sampdoria with another loss. They are in shock. I don't even know what happened there. Icardi gets a 4-goal game under his belt here against his old team. He gets his 103rd goal in Serie A, and it's also his 4th goal became his 100th goal for Inter, which is an incredible feat for him at only 25 years of age. He's becoming important, and I don't know where this Inter team was through the whole season. They needed this. They needed results like this in the season. He managed to get a hat trick in 14 minutes. Inter, where have you been? And it's funny too, considering that Spalletti said this team was lacking quality, and look what happened. They showed him. They probably shut him up for a bit. But again, let's see what Inter can do if they can maintain this coming after the international break, considering they also have a lot of big, tough games to play as well. So let's see if they even manage to keep this run of form and not let any other teams catch up to them. And another big result that happened on Sunday at one of the first 10 a.m. games, it is Verona-Atalanta, which finished 5-0 to the Nerazzurri. I honestly did not see this coming. I don't think anyone else saw it coming. But this was a huge result. Verona gets smashed. Atalanta get a crucial win. Ilicic bags a hat trick, which is incredible. Cristante scored early on to just get the scoring started, and then Gomez adds a 5th right after. Atalanta did have a goal disallowed in the first half because of VAR, and then they did get a penalty given because of our at the end of the first half, which got Ilicic on a scoring run. But I am actually really surprised. Like I said, I didn't see this coming. I did have a feeling Atalanta was going to win, but maybe not this big. This was incredible. It's a good, valuable 3 points for Atalanta, who want to maintain their run because they're on a hunt for Europa League spot as well. Let's see where they can finish. If they can eventually pass Milan, hopefully not, because I don't want that to happen. They helped to move on level points with Samp after their defeat. So again, like I said, this is a big win. And Verona, who couldn't pick up any points, just stays in the bottom 3. Next game we go on to is Torino. Fiorentina are now unbeaten, 2 out of 2 wins since the late Astori's death. They managed to put in a good run of form. In a way, I guess to me, I find it a way of respect. Not respect, but good fortune, I guess. I really don't know how to describe it, but I guess they're doing it in honor of Astori winning these important games, getting the results needed. Veretout missed a penalty in the first half. That could have changed the game entirely, but he does get a goal in the end after a bad mistake by the Torino defense. Belotti scores late on in the game, but another penalty was given. This time it was converted by Tero, and the Viola grab a crucial 3 points in the end, and Torino are just lacking again. They can't seem to get a result. It is their 4th consecutive loss. Probably would have been better to even keep Mihailovic in charge, because he maybe could have got points. Now this game was a little interesting because I was watching it with my brother while I was streaming the Milan game, but I feel bad for Crotone. They lost 2-0 at home, but they had their chances. They just couldn't execute them. They just couldn't put them past Alisson. And it's not like they forced him into a lot of saves. It was either just like a missed touch or missing of the net. There's the odd save that Alisson did have to make, but they just couldn't bury. They couldn't get the right finish on them. Goals were scored by Elsha right before halftime in the Nangolan in the 75th. Not the result the Calabresi were looking for, as they need these points to stay out of the relegation zone and to avoid going back to the bottom. They want to stay up for a second consecutive year now. Another big win too for Roma, as they want to maintain a lead over Inter and Lazio for that 3rd place, and they want to maintain their lead over even Milan if they manage to keep winning their games. Roma are on a 3-game winning streak, so that puts on their good run of form, which can be good. But I'm wishing they can, slack off a little bit so Milan can pass as long as we keep winning. I'm hoping. But I guess Di Francesco, ever since the Napoli win, has managed to get a good Roma side, picking up the 3 points and getting the job done instead of dropping points and, getting other teams to pass them as well. This one's a bit of a heartbreak for me. I guess it's always hard to see Benevento lose, and it's always in the last few minutes. And it's actually the 2nd time they lost late on to Cagliari. Benevento conceded 3 goals past the 86th minute, and all 3 goals came to Cagliari, one in Sardinia, the other here at Benevento. This is really, really hard to see. Brignola gets the goal right after the half, but Pavoletti scores in the 91st, but then Barella puts a penalty home away in the 97th. And I don't see any way that Benevento could probably rescue their season. It'll be very, very tough, considering they have a lot of games to play, and there are a lot of teams that are tougher than them as well, who have the experience and will probably get the job done. So it's very hard to see how they will be able to get points needed, and they're even able to, secure points if they keep losing it at the last few minutes. Not good. They have to do better. Last 10 a.m. game, guys, is Milan-Chievo. This actually put me in a bit of a heart attack, After the elimination from Europa League, Milan were looking to bounce back in their undefeated run in Serie A, and for a 5th consecutive victory, they managed to do just that. Çalhanoğlu opens the scoring after scoring against Arsenal midweek. But right before half, 10 minutes before half, Stepinski ties it after some lackluster defending, and Inglese scores with a great volley just at the edge of the box. No chance for Donnarumma, but that put us in a scare. Chievo had the lead at half. They were looking to hold on, and it's funny that they've never beaten Milan at the San Siro, so it was hard to see if they would be able to break that cycle, but did not. Cutrone scored after it was disallowed originally, but after through VAR it was given as he was clearly onside. And then Silva, after scoring the winner against Genoa last week, he scores the winner this week. He's finally starting to find his footing in Serie A, and it's good to see him score. Gattuso managing to make the right changes at the right time by putting on Silva for Borini, going 3 at the back, putting the extra pressure on. He is still learning, Gattuso. He may not be the most experienced, but he tends to learn to adapt on his way, and he tends to make the necessary changes when he sees fit, so it's good to see that. And then as we see, Kessie missed a penalty in the 94th minute, again as is adjudged to be a handball with a VAR. There were quite a few incidents with VAR this weekend. I think we had a total of about 7, 8. Pretty big record, actually. He missed it, so maybe it's time for Milan to even change their penalty takers after Rodriguez did miss against Sampdoria earlier in the season. We also had 2 games at 3:45, and we're going to go with Lazio Bologna. Lazio wanted to get the win so they can put up pressure on Inter and pass them as well, and move away farther from Milan, but no, they got caught in a 1-1 draw at the Olimpico. Verdi scored early on, so that put on a scare with the Biancocelesti, but Luca managed to tie it up, but they were not able to get the winner. They only tied 1-1, and they only stay behind Inter in the standings, so it wasn't the result we were looking for to put on pressure for that 3rd spot as well and get into that Champions League somehow. Last game of the day, guys, was Napoli-Genoa. First half finished goalless, but Napoli managed to find the winner thanks to Raul Albiol, the most unlikely of scores. This was an important win because they wanted to go -2 from Juve after suffering a loss and a tie against Roma and Inter. They want to pick up the slack. They want to find their way back. They didn't want to say, like, oh no, season is done, Scudetto's Juve's. No, they want to keep pressuring, put it on Juve to show that they are not done, that they have not lost Scudetto, and they did this just at the nick of time before international break. They can go in next weekend hoping that they can get the result they need in order to get their first spot back in Serie A. So before we go into the standings, guys, we're going to go into the player of the weekend, and I'm going to give that to Mauro Icardi for scoring 4 goals in the game, getting 103 goals now in Serie A. Impressive feat for him, and he's scoring now. He's back, probably maybe back to his form, I don't know, but at least he managed to get goals in him to boost up his confidence, to get back in his form, and he did open up the Capocannoniere race again, as he's only 2 goals behind Ciro Immobile at 22. So he opened things up for both Inter and himself in 2 different types of races. Goal of the weekend, I'm going to give it to Seko Fofana of Udinese, because that was a great strike outside the box. Goes past one defender and just strikes it home. No chance for Consigli to get it. Just wow. If you guys haven't seen it, check it out, because it was probably one of the best goals I have seen this season. Now with that taken care of too, guys, we're also going to look at the standings. So some changes here and there. Again, I haven't been able to recap, so it's going to be different from when we last did it to now. Juve are up top at 75 with Napoli only 2 points behind. We can also probably see that the 2nd place race is probably done. It's only between Juve and Napoli, with Roma and everyone else under them trying to get that 3rd spot. And it's close. It's only a 9-point gap between 3rd and 6th spot. It's all open there. Atalanta, Samp, Fiorentina are all going to try fighting for that last Europa League spot. It's going to be an interesting race to see who can get it first and who can get the last one. Bottom half of the table is still really close in certain aspects. Like we said, Benevento most likely will be relegated. I don't see them coming up anytime soon. But from Cagliari to Verona, it's only a 7-point gap. Anything can happen in these last few games. I don't feel Genoa will probably be safe the way they've been playing recently, but considering the way, Cagliari, Sassuolo, Chievo, they'll tend to lose. Crotone have been able to get the wins here and there, but not consistently. So it's really open to see who will get those last 2 spots. Verona do have 2 wins in their last 5 games, so those were important wins for them. Managed to stay in that race. So it is, again, too early to say who for sure will be eliminated or who will be relegated or who will stay up. Let me know, guys, who you think will be going down and who will be staying up. So guys, that's our recap for round 29 in Serie A. Remember, they do have to make up those games coming up. I'll let you guys know when. I believe it is in April, first week. I can let you guys know for sure. Now with international break, players were recently called up. So I'll let you guys know. Here's the list here. There have been recent changes since this video was made from when this picture was taken. So we're going to start off with the goalies, and that is Buffon, Donnarumma, and Perin. Biagio calls Buffon back after he had retired. Buffon saying he's doing this in honor of Davide Astori. As much as I find that as a great respect to his late teammate, I still feel he should have retired and someone else should have gone in his place. You know, there's plenty of other goalies. Like an example, Sirigu, he could have easily come back to the national team and even have the experience, even if he wasn't going to play. He could have just given the experience to younger goalies such as Donnarumma and Perin. It just would have been important for them. There could have even been other goalies too, you know. You got like Scouffet and Meret, just to have some sort of backup, you know, or just to get those guys to have some sort of experience at that young age. Considering they're not going to the World Cup, get those friendlies under there, you know. We'll go on to the defenders. Bonucci, Chiellini, who actually has just left Coverciano due to injury, and Ogbonna was called up in his place. Darmian, Di Sciglio, Ferrari, Florenzi, Rugani, Spinazzola, and Zappacosta. Romagnoli and Calabria were also both injured and they weren't called up as well. So we do see players like Rugani and Ferrari called up in their place as well. An interesting backline. You get a mix of there's only some experience there, you know. You get like Zappacosta, Darmian, Bonucci, Di Sciglio helping out with like players such as Rugani, Ferrari, Ogbonna, you know, helping them out there. And this is a good way for Di Biagio to see who he has. And it'll be interesting to see how they play against teams like England and Argentina coming up. Midfielders are Bonaventura, Cristante, Gagliardini, Jorginho, Parolo, Pellegrini, and Verratti. So I do like the mid, not too bad. But Gagliardini, out of everyone, what has he done so far for Inter? Not much. There could have been someone else they could have called up. Verratti, who has been lackluster, he hasn't been really able to hit his peak, or he probably has already peaked, but his full potential hasn't been reached. I feel we'll see how he can do. Cristante, who's had a really good season. Good to see him being called up. Jorginho, who was always left behind by Ventura, now probably get the chance under Di Biagio. So it's good to see him finally called up and hopefully be playing for Italy. Forwards are Belotti, Candreva, Chiesa, Cutrone, Immobile, Insigne, and Verdi. So Cutrone gets his first call up, Chiesa as well. Good. It's good to see he's taking these young players too, giving them the experience, like I said, since they're not going to the World Cup, unfortunately. But to get the experience against these teams, against Argentina and England, good for them. And it gives them, it's a different taste from going from under 21 to senior. The one thing though too is that he didn't call up Balotelli, which a lot of people are hyping it, that he would be called up. And I feel he should have, especially he's had such a good season at Nice. And I feel he should have been called up to this new Italy, and I am wanting to see how Di Biagio fares. I don't think he's going to be the coach, as the Lega Serie A people, or the Lega Serie A representatives, are always looking for another replacement. Ancelotti, Mancini are names in mind, but I do want to see how Di Biagio does until he is taken out of the position. Both Italy games, guys, are in Europe. They're not going anywhere. They are playing March 23rd at 3:45 against Argentina, and then a few days later, March 27th at 3 against England. Two sides both going to the World Cup, trying to test out what players they want to bring to the competition, and then Italy again, like I said, just trying to see how this new team fleshes out, how they can rework new formations, new tactics, and all that sort of stuff. So let's see what Di Biagio can bring in these two important games. There are many other friendlies coming up as well that are later to be announced, but these are two important ones coming in, and these are the first two since Italy's elimination from the World Cup. If you guys like that Italy team, let me know. Comment below if you guys maybe have another opinion of who else should have been called up, who should not have been called up, because we all have mixed opinions about this team as well. So comment below, tweet us, let us know what you guys think. So that's our recap. It's good to do these videos again. I'm hoping to do more. It just depends, I guess, on school as well. It's just getting to the busy time now, so I hope to try to have videos out as well. So guys, follow us on Twitter, Calcio_bros, and subscribe on YouTube for more Calcio content. We'll hear from you guys soon. Ciao.